Midges! Ah! Scotland's most famous biting beastie. Now there's many commercially available insect repellents on the market, but how do they actually work? And can I make something that is equally as effective? Well, in this video, I mix traditional wisdom with modern science. I look at how modern insect repellents actually work and see if I can mimic them with readily available foraged and bought ingredients. I make 4 different potions and I test them out against the midges to see what one works the best. So, stay tuned and let's see what happens. Hi folks, Tom from Fandabi, Dozi and Resilient Roots, Wilderness Scales and Resilience School. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This was a fun video to make. I look forward to showing you what I got up to. But before I get into it, I want to say a big thanks to everyone who supports me on the Patreon page. Honestly, the Patreon is what makes this channel possible. It keeps it free from sponsorship interruptions, keeps it independent from sponsors. So I really appreciate everyone who supports me there. So, midges and midge repellents. This was this month's learning prompt for my school, Resilient Roots. So on my school, it's half a curriculum, step-by-step curriculum on wilderness skills, my staff movement and resilience philosophy. And the other half is a social element, right? It's about getting people from all around the world who are interested in wilderness skills and resilience and getting them together and getting them talking. So this month of July, it's kind of peak midge season. I thought, let's make the learning prompt, make a homemade insect repellent and test it out. So last year I did a video on how the Highlanders dealt with midges. And I'll put a link to that video there. That video talked a bit about midge biology, a bit about what little I could find from the historical records, and then what my theories were for how people in the past dealt with these midges, because they can be really bad. they can really ruin your time in the outdoors. I can actually see one crawl across my screen right now. Believe it or not, that midge was actually inside the lens of my camera. Don't know how that happened. That shows you just how tiny and sneaky they are. Now, a lot of people think that modern repellents either poison the insects or hide your smell, but they don't quite do that. What they mainly do is actually confuse the sensory organs of the midge. By the time they get up close on you, they kind of, it's almost like a GPS jammer. Now there's loads of different insect repellents on the market. In my experience, none of them are 100% effective, especially when midges swarm. Okay, when the midges are in clouds, you need like a physical barrier, you need head nets and things like that. But perhaps the most common and the most effective in my experience is this brand Midge. Now, how does Smidge actually work? It's got loads of different ingredients, but the active ingredient in Smidge is called picaridin. Picaridin, otherwise known as icaridin. Okay, so picaridin is this chemical that confuses the midge's sensory organ once it gets close to you. Okay, so my thinking was, what could I easily make? Just stuff that ingredients you can buy from the shop or stuff that you can forage. Is there any natural plants or ingredients you'd find in the shop that mimic that active ingredient, picaridin? So what I did was I went back to some various books about Highland botany that I already had. I also had a bit of a chat with AI, as one does these days, to try and figure out and pull out what active ingredients are in different herbs. And quite a lot of options came up, but I decided to concentrate on 3 things. 2 herbs that I could forage from the wild, and then 1 ingredient I could easily buy at the shop. So the 2 foraged herbs was bog myrtle and yarrow. Now, bog myrtle is the most sort of famous insect repelling plant in Scotland. I tested just using it raw in my previous video, and I can't say it really worked at all. The other herb is yarrow. Yarrow is famous for its ability to clot blood. I've also used it in brewing medieval beer. But I didn't know it actually had insect repelling properties, but I found it in the book Flora Celtica. And the final herb, or in this case I guess it's a spice, that you can easily buy in the shops that I wanted to try is cloves. So there's a few different chemicals that are found in these different herbs that kind of mimic the active components in modern insect repellents. So in bog myrtle, we have ingredients like myrcene, limonene, and we have cineol. Now in yarrow, we have some chemicals, camphor, also borneol, and cineol as well. Finally in cloves, the main active ingredient in it is called eugenol. Eugenol. And this has actually been studied in labs for its insect repellent properties. So I never knew that until I researched this. I was quite excited about this. Now, of course, you can't just be rubbing cloves on you and expect it to work. You have to somehow extract those ingredients. And from my research and thinking about, okay, what can I easily just buy or get in my house, I figured the best thing to do was to just grind these ingredients up and soak it in a readily available alcohol. So essentially, I just got some clean jars, I blended up my ingredients, and I made a few different potions, mixing the ingredients, the herbal ingredients, with vodka. Now this time of year, the yarrow is flowering, and I wasn't sure if the active components were found more in the flowers or the leaves. So I decided to make two different potions used with the yarrow. One ground up yarrow flowers and the other ground up yarrow leaves. Again, mixed with the vodka. And for all my potions, I just left them sit for a week and just occasionally shake them up and mix them. And that was it. I wanted it to be really simple. I didn't want to have to buy a bunch of different essential oils and ingredients off the internet and wait for them. I just wanted something I could forage, or buy and just mix it together and have something to try out. So there's a bit of how and why I made my repellent potions the way I did. Now, on to the experiments. Let's see if they actually work. So I'm curious what they're going to smell like. Let's start with this, yarrow flowers and vodka. That actually smells lovely. It smells very sweet. It smells like honey or something. We have yarrow leaves. So this was, I wasn't sure out of the leaves or the flowers what would have more of that insect confusing chemical. Does it smell any different? Slightly less sweet than the flower concoction. Okay, interesting. Cloves and vodka. Okay. That's the most pungent so far. Wow. Okay. If I was to guess, I feel like that's going to be the most effective. Who knows? I didn't have the vodka on me to make this one, so it was made gin. It smells like a spinach curry. Okay, I'm going to try the clove and vodka on my left arm and the bog myrtle and gin on my right arm. And then we'll see what happens. Bog myrtle mix on the other arm. Minutes and see what happens. See that guy? That's the bog myrtle arm. Still took 5 minutes for him to find me. None yet on my clove arm. Now let's try the two different yarrow mixes. So let's put the flowers on my left arm and the leaf mixture on my right arm. And again, sit here for 10 minutes and see what happens. And none on the leaf worm yet. That's interesting. Although one of the midges did just crawl around my arm and decide that she didn't like it and she's flown away again. Oh, I have a newcomer. 2 newcomers. How's it going? Compared to each other, I would say the yarrow leaves seem to be a tad more effective. But that's just after one experiment. So I did a total of 3 experiments, 2 rounds of testing the homemade repellents against each other. The science commence! And then 1 round testing the most successful of the homemade against the commercially available repellent. So, what were the results? Now obviously this is pretty crude woodland science. For me to get a really true answer, I would want to test these out for longer durations and in denser densities of midge clouds. But I'll show you what I found. Now, the least effective from my experiments was the yarrow, particularly the yarrow leaves. The yarrow flowers I found was slightly more effective, but I was still getting some midges biting me. The next least effective was bog myrtle. It was mildly better than the yarrow, but I was still getting a few midges coming and biting me, which is interesting because bog myrtle is the one that everyone knows as the insect repellent. Now, by far the most effective was the cloves and vodka potion. The last couple experiments I didn't get a single midge even landing on me, so that is a real surprise. I'd never even known that cloves had this active component in it. And on the recent Resilient Roots live call, the participants were sharing their homemade insect repellents, and I learned from some of the participants there that cloves are actually multifunctional. That same active component, eugenol, is also a mild painkiller, and cloves can be used for toothaches and things like that. So I quite like having multifunctional stuff in my kit. Now, when I tested the cloves against a smidge, I didn't get a midge on either arm, which is kind of interesting. From that test and a very mild midge density, the cloves and vodka potion was equally effective as the commercially available insect repellent smidge. So I think that's really interesting. The smell of the cloves really does linger. It lingers much longer than these. After the alcohol's evaporated, it leaves a slight sort of tacky, sticky feeling on your skin, so there's obviously something lingering. So I think I'm definitely gonna keep making and using this as a really simple homemade insect repellent. In a way, it's even better because wherever you folks are watching in the world, you might not have, you know, plants that you can forage for insect repellents, but most people can buy cloves and vodka and quickly blend them up and make yourself insect repellent. So I hope you enjoyed this, folks. This was fun to make. Big thanks to everyone who supports me on the Patreon page. Also thanks to all the participants of my school, Resilient Roots. If you want to come join Resilient Roots, I'll put a link below. We will be doing an onboarding of new students very soon. There you get access to all the step-by-step curriculum, zero to hero, and getting into wilderness living skills, as well as all my staff martial arts and resilience philosophy. The community page it's a lovely, wholesome social media, and the live calls are always really enjoyable. So, click the link below if you're interested in that. We'll be doing a summer sale soon as well, so keep an eye out for that. And until then, have fun making potions and avoiding the biting beasties. Cheery bye.